Oh boy, so y'all can hear me now. Check, check. Y'all can hear me now. Record on the cloud. Okay, so we get this recording. So where we at now? Okay, and we are sharing screen. Sharing that screen here. Make sure we share screen one. Okay, let's go. So, oh, we still in practice session, right? So we got to start it. Start the webinar. Get started. All right, so we're in here live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the AI Money Machine, the billionaire blueprint for generational wealth. I'm about to teach y'all how we are going to be rebuilding Black wealth. This is the blueprint for building Black wealth. So I'm happy to have y'all here so we can celebrate each other and talk about how we can put the culture on our backs, be better role models, better citizens, and better stewards of God's money. All right. So let's start this off with where you from? Everybody put in the chat where you from. Checking in. I see people checking in from Dago, checking in from Atlanta, checking LA. I see the Bay is in here. I see all my people. Okay, shout out to Duval. All right, we got it. It's looking good, man. It's looking good. Um, my name's Coach Micah. I'm president, founder of Rich Forever University. So happy to have y'all here and let y'all get a bar of what we got going on. I know it's a lot going on in the markets right now. Got people first really turbulence of since April, right? I was gonna say of the year, but the first real turbulence since April. But I think what you have to understand is markets never go straight up. And volatility is good for the markets. It gives everybody an opportunity that missed the opportunity before. A lot of times they get opportunities to get in and catch that second run. So if you wasn't there, sometimes I like to say you late, but not too late a lot of times. So I would tell everybody to take a deep breath and calm down if you already in the market. If you feel like, oh, you own Bitcoin and you see it pulling back, I think Bitcoin's pulled back like 20% over the past couple of weeks. What I'd say is I still like Bitcoin from what I've seen it do. And I love AI. So no one can ever say with 100% certainty what the market is going to do next, um, how far it's going to go down, or how long it's going to be going down, right? No one can ever say that. And I think that's where a lot of confusion comes at. And so I want to stop that right from the beginning. I do not have a crystal ball that tells me what the market is going to do next. The way that real traders trade, and I get it, a lot of people are new to the area and they expect you. We when we get into something, we hold each other so accountable, right? I see people banging on people for being banging on different influencers for being wrong. Saw something the other day. I ain't gonna call his name, but popular show. He has said that Bitcoin, the lowest Bitcoin could go was 100,000, and now I think it's down in that 80 to $85,000 space. So people was taking a chance to kind of talk bad about the boy and shit on the boy right now. And what I'll say is nobody gets it right 100% of the time. I don't care if it's Warren Buffett. I don't care if it's Kramer. I don't care Kathy Wood. And I don't see y'all doing the touchdown dance when they get it wrong the same way. So the boy been giving y'all it's Ian. I'm saying the boy even Ian been giving y'all some good plays. And they do it at a reasonable price. So it just looks bad when you try to like celebrate him being wrong or anybody being wrong, man. I just hope that we don't bring the rap beef to financial literacy beef because at the end of the day, we need each other. Um, Everybody's trying to learn. Everybody has the same goal, and that's to put food on the table, clothes on their back, and a roof over their head for them and their families. And so, with that, let me say this. I'm gonna talk about today's agenda. I'm gonna get off my high horse right now. I'm gonna get right into today's agenda. What are you gonna learn today? You're gonna learn 4 ways that you can use AI as your personal trading assistant and as your personal wealth coach. I'm going to teach you 5 ways that you can make $10,000 plus per month trading options. And then I'm going to show you I'm going to show you 6 of the secret hiding places where you can find huge AI profits. I'm going to show you where the money in this whole AI 2.0 boom is hiding at. And then strategies. Now let me back that up and add. When I say 5 ways, I'm going to show you how you can make money no matter what the market is doing. And that's the beautiful thing about this is an option trading masterclass, if y'all was wondering. So I combine AI and options and the stock market together. So to invest in the best AI in what I call blue chip AI tech stocks. So we use AI, and I'm going to show you how you use it to actually invest in AI, because I think that that's the sweetest part in the market with the most growth right now. Okay. To my people logging in, if you want to join in on the Zoom, it's AI, it's AI Money Machine class.com, AI Money Machine class.com. Let me put that in here and pin it as we getting it started. AI Money Machine class.com. And then can I pin that? Let's see. So that's the link if y'all want to go register and come in and see the slides that I'm actually showing. So anyway, it's a free masterclass. And I just helping you get your confidence and helping you understand the opportunities that's out there for us, the opportunities that's out here for you to make money. And like I said, let me do a disclaimer right from the beginning and say past performance is no guarantee of future results. And we can never guarantee 100% with 100% certainty what the market is going to do, which is why I never say this is the absolute bottom that the market could go to, or this is it can always go lower, it can always go higher. And that is why you have to have a what if I'm wrong plan. Before you ever make any trades, what you have to do is you have to have your trading plan, you have to have a stop loss. You got to have a stop loss. So we are in a new dynamic, in a new world that the buy and hold will put you through so much unnecessary pain. You don't have to go through that. You don't have to put yourself in that position where you are just not. Let me see if I can move this over here a little more where y'all can get it directly. Uh, Move that in there. Can y'all see me? Make sure y'all know you can't see me good there, huh? All right. Yeah, you can see me good. You guys can still see me because it's where the camera. Okay, so I say that to say, listen, you do not have to put yourself through these 30-40% drawdowns once you learn how to trade options. And once you learn, number one, how to put a stop loss there to begin with. You got to have a stop loss. You always want to have, before you ever get into a trade, you always want to have a stop loss, predetermined stop loss. Okay. That will stop you from going through, that will save you so much pain, heartache, and money. Always got to have that stop loss before you ever even enter into the trade. When you don't have a stop loss, that's just being irresponsible and unprofessional. And here, what I'm teaching you is professional level trading strategies. Same kind of strategies hedge funds use to generate multiple streams of income. And I'm showing you how to generate double digit most people have been, and where's that? Like, before I even go here, let me not get ahead of myself. Let's just jump to this first. So who am I? I'm Coach Micah Bowens. Um, I'm a father of 5. You see my beautiful children right here and my beautiful wife. Go here. And why should you be listening to me? Right? And you see right here, I got a degree from Morehouse. Wow, that's a lot of impressive stuff on here. I also have a certificate from Columbia. Where's my Harvard certificate? I got to send them my Harvard certificates. And I got a certificate in fintech investing from Harvard and in value investing from Columbia. I'm also a certified high performance coach. So this is as much about the mindset of a champion and the mentality of a winner and a high achiever as it is about making money. Because to me, they go hand in hand. They go together. Also, I'm a certified financial coach and I'm an ex-stockbroker. But none of that has anything to do with my ability to make money in the markets, right? So really, why should you be listening to me? Well, because I outperform the market. I beat the market. My returns were 2,163% when the market did 31%. So that right there is, and let me say that, round of applause for that, right? 2,000, because most people will, I'll tell you, you've been taught, everything you've been taught about building wealth up to this point is wrong. There's an agenda behind it because asset managers want to manage your money because they get paid a commission, but they get paid based on how much money they have under management. So they want to keep your money a long time. They want to use minimal, they want to do minimal work and they want to charge you as much as they can. And so they really just want to, they'll always tell you, let us manage the money, don't worry about anything. And then all they do is shove you into, these predetermined funds like the S&P 500 or maybe a tech fund or some other kind of ETF, but it's not active management most of the time. It's really passive management. And that's why they try to convince you that you're supposed to be satisfied with 10% returns. I will say to you this, there's no other time. What other time in your life have you ever satisfied, have you ever been satisfied with being average? If your kids come home with straight C's, are you satisfied with your kids coming home with straight C's? No. So why are you letting your financial advisor come home with give you straight C's, right? So as we went over before, I said the three secrets you need to know to make money in the new AI economy. Number one, you need to know how to use AI as your personal trading assistant and virtual wealth coach. You need to know how to generate multiple streams of income. And then you need to know where the best places to be investing are at. Okay. So, uh, little proof in the pudding. I'm a believer that I can show you better than I can tell you because everybody talks a good game. So here's some screenshots and you see $14,783 in one day. Here's another one, 18,600 in one day. Here's another one, $21,183 in one day. Now, let me say this again. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. You got to be in the right place at the right time. The market got to cooperate for you to get these kind of returns. But you got to learn the skills to set yourself up for success and position yourself for success from the very beginning. And that's what my job is to teach you teach you how to position yourself for success because that's what this really is. This is really all about putting you in position to be successful because that's what I want you to do. I just want to see you win. I want to see you be successful. So now, if you stay and watch this webinar in its entirety, watch this masterclass in its entirety, I will have some free goodies for you that are going to help you collapse time and start making money even faster so that you can get to your money goals 10 times faster. Some good goodies too. You know what? You got to wait and see. So it's going to be a surprise what I got for you. Okay. Turn off put your phone on do not disturb. Make sure you're in a quiet place. Get a pen and paper because I only got an hour and a half and I'm gonna be going fast. Um, so I want you to take notes and I want you to soak up this higher learning because this is going to be, like I said, how you collapse time, how you close the wealth gap, how you get on that this is a fast path to financial freedom. So first thing we want to talk about is what's your financial freedom number, right? You need to know that. Got to get your financial house in order. And what's your financial freedom order? You hear people all the time talking about they financially free or they want to be or what. The way we define financial freedom at Rich Forever University is how long can you go without working and maintain your lifestyle? So in other words, how much is all your bills, and then how much is your lifestyle? How much does it cost you to live each month? That's your financial freedom number. Now, the first goal that I like to place for everyone is how, what is the number that you need to make every month? How much of that is coming from your job right now? And how do we get that where you can make it in the market? I'm not telling people to quit their job. I'm a person who thinks that you need to have multiple streams of income. So you need to have a business, a job, then you need to generate investment income, right? So a lot of people call it passive income. I say investment income. Yeah, I'm still in Vegas. I'm still in Vegas. Since somebody in the class says, am I still in Vegas? Yeah, I'm still in Vegas, man. Uh, Flown here, not grown here, but I'm a native of Vegas now the way I've been here. So, like I said, true financial freedom is being able to live off of the cash flow from your investments and your assets. Example, let's say you have a $100,000 portfolio. It generates 10% per month. That's $10,000. If your bills are less than $10,000, you financially free. Does that make sense? Okay. So let me ask you this. If I could teach you a system that would generate $10,000 a month where you can work from home or anywhere, not just for a couple of months, not just for a couple of weeks, not for something that you was going to be able to use, a system you was going to be able to use from now to infinity. Meaning this is skills like this is a life skill. Once you learn this life skill, no one can take it away from you. The markets may change, but these skills I'm going to teach you are infinite skills, like Buzz Lightyear say, to infinity and beyond. This is not like something that's going to play out like, Amazon FBA or Airbnb rentals. When you learn how to trade options, you can make money in any kind of economy. I don't care if we have a recession. I don't care if the market crashes. I don't care if we go into another pandemic. You will know what to do to keep generating money and having cash flow come in. That's why this is different than anything else. They could shut down everything and you will still be able to make money if you know how to use the right option trading strategy. Okay? So let's go. Let's get into it. Now, why are we here? We're here because only 2% of Black families have a net worth of $1 million or more. And I want to change that. So I created, all my stuff is around creating you to be financially free, but also I have the goal of creating a million. I have the goal of creating 100 millionaires. I want to do my little piece to teach people how to make money so that more people that look like me can be millionaires. That's simple. I'll simplify it. That's my real mission. That is what I want to be able to lead this place in, and I want to build a foundation. But right now, only 2% of Black families have a net worth above $1 million, according to the study. And I think that we are capable of much more than that. And we need to double, triple, even quadruple that number. And honestly, I will tell you, I think violence, I think uh crime will go down as our income goes up. Right now, more than 50% of people, of homeless families are Black though. And that's a big problem too. And so I think we don't do enough to address the homelessness. I know everybody kind of be like, get away from me. We don't, everybody feels like we want to not look at them or they're in the way. You never know what somebody going through or how they got there. Everybody that's homeless is not a dope fiend. So my hope is that as you make a couple of more dollars and you do better financially, you can help other people and we can help each other. So we don't have to rely on the government and we can kind of turn to each other to take care of each other. Because this is something that we got to fix. And right now, all I see is the wealth gap getting wider and wider. And I see more and more homeless people. I see the homeless population growing every place. I was in LA the other day. as soon as I got off the freeway in Hollywood, I could not believe how many people were out there. And then even when I get out, I live in a gated community. And as soon as I come out of my gated community and get to the next light, there's always somebody out there with a sign, begging for help. We got to fix that. Okay, so let's talk about it. We ain't gonna hide, we're gonna put it out there. The average white household has a net worth of 285K compared to the average black household having an average of 45K. I know it's systemic racism. I know they own all I know it's opposite. Guess what? I'm not here to talk about the causes. I'm here to talk about how we get results, how we make change, right? You can have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. So I'm here to talk about solutions, all right? So right now, what is that? 285, like the freeway and the ATL, over 45. So that's 6 times. So the average white family has 6.3 times the amount of household wealth as a black family. We got catching up to do. There's no other way around it. We got to figure out how we're going to catch up because money is power and respect. So let's talk about this. Here's another big problem. Median wealth of Black Americans is predicted to be zero by 2053 if we don't change our spending habits and our investing habits. We have to learn how to spend less, invest more, and grow the money that we invest. Okay, so we got to be smarter about how we're investing our money. You're not going. I see people all the time. I'll tell you something. Right now, I have to pass DraftKings every day when I leave my house, and I know a bunch of people that spend more time betting on football games than they do investing, learning how to invest. And I just don't see. And I'm a Cowboy fan. I don't know if we coming. Oh, we came back. It's tied right now, and I just can't see how somebody can bet on the Cowboys instead of betting on the video. And I'm a Cowboy fan. So I would say we got to learn about two things. I call them pop and roar. We got to learn about return on risk and we got to learn about probability of profit. And we have to put ourselves in the position to be successful. Is this, let me see, are we getting what we are supposed to be getting? Am I coming across live on here? Let me see. I don't know if I'm actually live on Facebook right now. Is anybody watching me on Facebook? See if we get it in. Well, if it's not working, then it's not working, and I'll have to fix something later. So anyway, let me ask you something. Do I have your consent to ask you a question without judgment? I do not want to judge you. I'm gonna ask the question anyway, though. I'm just run through it, right? How many of y'all? I got 3. I want y'all to put a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat, or 1, 2, and 3 in the chat. But how many of you own more Nike shoes than the video shares? And then number 2, so I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. Then the second question is, how many of you missed out on the smartphone boom, the social media boom, and the Bitcoin boom? How many of you missed out on all 3 of those? Because these was opportunities for you to make a ton of money, right? This is an opportunity for you to make a ton of money investing. People always tell me, I don't know what, I got family members that be like, but I don't know what to invest in. I don't understand it. If you spending money with them on a consistent basis, it's probably a good investment. So you already do know what to invest in. Now, if you say, I don't know when I should invest in them or how much I should pay, that's different. But I say smartphone, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Apple, right? I say social media, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right? I say crypto, first thing comes to mind, Bitcoin. Those were all can't miss investments. They're still all can't miss investments now, but you do need to have some discipline about your entry point, and then you need to have a stop loss. But these is all companies that are these it's like Revenge of the Nerds. These new school nerds are the new masters of the universe. probably the biggest mistake I made. But well, no, but it's funny because I almost went to school originally. I had enrolled at San Jose State, and I was gonna go to San Jose State, and they used to always try to get me to join what is it called? NASB, the National Association of Black Engineers, NASB. And I was also always interested more in finance. I didn't realize like, oh, if I had it to go back, what I would do is I would have been a double major. I would have got a double major um, in finance and engineering so that I could have been at the cutting edge of this boom. And I would have went to school in the Bay Area. If I would have went to grad, if I either undergrad, I would have went to, I can't erase the Morehouse. I'm not gonna, Morehouse had time of my life. But I definitely should have went to grad school or got my master's up in the Bay Area so I could have been a part of this boom. But um, it is what it is. So number three, my next question, how many of y'all have had a Netflix account for more than 5 years, but have never owned any Netflix stock? You see where I'm going with this? This kind of has a theme. This kind of has a theme. You can't tell me you don't know what to invest in because you've been spending money with these people. You've been a loyal customer. Like the EPMZ said, you're a customer. And it's not your fault because you've been trained to be a customer since you was a toddler. If you really think about it, the Saturday morning cartoons, all they did was turn around and sell you shit. They go to a commercial, sell, sell, sell. Especially when it gets around this time of the year, the holiday time, you don't realize football game gonna come on today. You're gonna see a bunch of commercials of, I keep seeing the one about them trying to sell you food, but they try to sell you way more than just food. And I actually came up with another strategy. There's so many ways to look at it. I came up with another strategy today. I was looking at Steph Curry and I saw the Steph Curry commercial for the Google phone. And I said, you know what? Let me see who else Steph endorses. And so it was Steph, Kevin Hart, and Asia Wilson. And I was like, you know what? Let me start writing down when I see a commercial what they advertising and who's on there. These are still opportunity. This is how you build. This is a new way to build a watch list. You can look at companies and say like, oh, okay, let me check out this company and see what their books is looking like. Let me see if they generating the right kind of profits, if they got a competitive moat, and let me see if this company is worthy of me investing in. But do my research and start paying attention to things like from an investor's point of view, as opposed to just being a consumer all the time, right? I Years ago I had took a course with Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote the book Rich Dad. And in there, he talks about this concept called the cash flow quadrant, right? Where he says, you put them four categories, right? People are in four categories. Sometimes they're in multiple categories. And that's what I try to do. And that's what I'm trying to do here is help you get into multiple categories, right? So it's called the cash flow quadrant. And in the cash flow quadrant, in the upper right side, you have employees. In the lower right side, you have the self-employed people. Upper right, you have the business owners. Bottom right, you have investors, right? And it talks about how they get taxed at different rates and get taxed at different times. But what you want to do is see if you can get money coming in from all those different areas. And in fact, when you go to buy a house, and they ask you about the money being generated, they ask about all those things. You want to be able to check all those boxes. You know what I mean? Until you have, but eventually it's like climbing the wall. Eventually you want to get to where all your income comes from your business and from investing. And if you can get it from investing and generate, because at the end of the day, there's no limit to how much you can make. There's a limit to how many hours you can work, right? There's a limit to how much they're gonna pay you on your job. As a business, though, when you own a business, the sky's the limit on how much you can make. And when you're an investor, the sky's the limit on how much you can make. And it's way easier to scale. So I know most people they have a hard time with this concept, but eventually your investment income can grow to be bigger than your working income. That's what happens in retirement. When you retire, you're going to be living off of the cash flow from your investment. That's why you hear people say fixed income. I don't want your retirement account. I don't want you to have to live off of a fixed income in your retirement account. I want you to be able to live off of an unlimited income in your retirement account. So that's what Rich Forever is all about. And that's what this AI money machine is all about, is showing you how to get on the how to get on the fast track to financial freedom, and how to actually just have a more luxurious retirement. And we know exactly what you need so that you can make consistent high profit trades. And I'm gonna teach them to you in this master class. You're gonna be you it's just rock with me, and you're gonna see like I'm gonna blow your mind when you realize how much money you can make, how easy it is, and how opportunities have been in your face. And I'm not gonna beat you up about what you missed. Everybody's gonna miss investments, and we can't do nothing about what we already missed. But what we got to do is not make the same mistakes over and over again. We got to stop repeating our mistakes. And as a matter of fact, let our mistakes finance our future and the ones that's coming behind us, right? I think it was Carnegie, who was like, it's a shame that every generation has to start over and learn things the hard way instead of just learning from what people have all learning from the mistakes that people have already made. So let's be real about what the problem is. If you don't have a clear, repeatable system for knowing what stocks you should be trading, knowing when you should be getting in these stocks and out of these stocks, and then if you don't know how to manage your risk and capital efficiently, then you're not really trading. You're not trading, you're trading like an amateur. And what I want to do is take you to a supreme level. I want to teach you how to trade like a pro. Because right now, most people, if they either aren't investing, they aren't trading, or they're gambling. And gambling in the stock market is the fastest way for you to go broke. It's the fastest way you could go broke, right? So we got to be way better about how we are employing our money. So the old way, that's out, right? And I always get this, well, why they didn't teach us this in school? You know the reason why they didn't teach you about investing in school? Number one, somebody making $60,000 who never invested before and their only investments are in their 401k is not really qualified to teach you how to invest. They can only really talk about the basics, and most of the teachers that you have in school, unfortunately, haven't been trained in finance. Besides, school is meant to train workers, not bosses. Remember when we talked about that cash flow quadrant? Even right now, the reason I'm gonna tell you, one of the biggest reasons, regardless of what side you own, whether you pro-choice or pro-life, the people who are pro-life, it's not about religion. They're worried about running out of workers before they can replace them with robots. And so Elon Musk, he's invested millions of dollars into a study and into a study on birth rates. And right now, America is worried that they are not that because women are not having babies at the same rate that they were having them before. They're worried that there will not be enough enough children being born to supply the workforce, right? And you go back and do your history, look up Hershey. If you look up Hershey, Hershey ran an orphanage, the Hershey bars, uh, uh, the Hershey dynasty. They opened up an orphanage to take in kids, and they took in kids that the parents couldn't take care of, right? But they trained the kids on how to work. That's kind of what Charlie and the Chocolate Factory comes from. The kids are trained. They don't want them to go to school and get an education and become business owners. He was teaching kids how to make chocolate. He was like, you need a trade. And so he was like, you need a trade. And that's what school is designed for. And there ain't nothing wrong with having a trade. Like I said, I think you need to have, especially the way, and the ladies is saying it right now. Fellas, I'm gonna tell you, you need to be able to generate multiple streams of income. You'll be like, well, I only make this much on my job. Well, you can supplement because they didn't already, you're not going, you can pout all you want, you can post anything you want. You're not gonna change a female's mind about what she wants. She want a man that makes six figures. And if she want a man that makes six figures, that's her prerogative. Now, if you making 60, 70,000 on a job, then that means you need to make another 30 somewhere else, right? You can make that in the stock market. You can make that having digital products. You can make that in all kind of, you can make that with a second job. You can still get there, right? The way I'm going to teach you though is the most efficient way. And we can get way more than the 30. It's easy because you ain't going to have to work. You know, this is something that you can dedicate really less than 90 minutes a day to. So, let's talk about the new way. The new way, what I call the AI money machine way, rich forever way. We use AI to find high probability setups. And the beautiful thing about it is it takes us, we can do the work. We can do the work of 1,000 humans in about 10, 15 minutes now. Then we use spreads to lower the cost and reduce our risk. We put a trading plan together. We always have a trading plan, okay? You got a trading plan, and every trading plan has to have three things. It has to have a buy zone, it has to have a profit target, and it has to have a stop loss. If you don't have those three things, you don't have a trading plan. But what we're doing is we're going to let AI do 80% of the work. And that way, reading charts and picking stocks is easier than it's ever been. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it. All right. This is a simple system you can use to make anywhere 500, 2,000, 10,000. The sky is the limit. Obviously, the more money you have to trade, the bigger, the more money you can generate. But it's not something that you got to do overnight. It's something you build. It's muscle memory. It's something you build up on. And the cool thing is the market's just going to markets are open 5 days a week, and it's going to be open for the rest of your life. Don't matter what happens to the dollar. It does not matter. There's always going to be something to invest in, and it's always going to be a way to make money off of it. You just want to, so what this is all about, excuse me, what this is really all about is increasing your knowledge, increasing your skill set, and then monetizing that knowledge and monetizing that skill set. That sound good? Y'all rocking with me on that? All right. So how much is not having the information I'm about to give you and not knowing how to invest? How much has it cost you so far? How much has it cost you? Well, let's use an example. Do you got an iPhone? Apple, right? Let's say you have put $1,000 a month in Apple for the last 10 years. If you have put $1,000 a month in Apple for the last 10 years, that's 120,000, right? 12 months, 10 years, 120,000. That 120,000 will be worth about 426,000 right now if you had put it in the stocks. Now, when you rocking with options and you're using these strategies, you can make 2 to 5 times what you would make on your stock market returns. So that 426,000, now we're talking about 852,000 to 200 million. I mean, to 2 million. So we're talking about 180,000 over 10 years. That could be somewhere between 800 and 2 million, 800,000 and 2 million, right? That's a lot of money. That's life-changing money. That would change all of our lives. That would make pretty much all of our lives better. And most of us would have financial freedom from that, right? Okay, Microsoft. Funny thing is, Apple been one of the best companies ever, right? Who would have thought that Microsoft actually outperformed Apple over the last 10 years, right? And we've been having, if you got an Xbox, you've been rocking with Microsoft. And that same $1,000 a month would be worth 761,000. Those options turn into 1.5 to 3.5 million. We're talking about $1,000 a month. You could swing $1,000 a month, but if you discipline, if you spend less and you make more, you can find that $1,000 a month. Here's my thing. The next 10 years is going to go by way faster than the last 10 years. That's good and bad, meaning, we only have so much time depending on how old you are. I heard somebody say the other day, children are time billionaires. Those of us up in our 40s, 50s, it's the clock is ticking. Now, I'm gonna get into AI a little bit down the line, and I'll tell you that the way science is changing now, and when these longevity studies are saying that the life expectancy is about to go from about 72 and 75 whatever to 100, maybe even 120 if you make it past the next 5 years. Now, longevity is great, but it's going to suck if you got bad health or you don't have any money. So you got to be able to generate some change so that you can afford to live to be 120 years. You don't want to be a burden on your family, your kids, and you don't want to be homeless, right? And you don't want to live and be sick. So you got to be able to pay the medical bills and you got to be able to. What? Is it over? Oh, they finna kick the field goal right now. I'm looking right now. They finna kick the field goal, huh? I told you they was gonna come back and win. When you play that bad and the game is that close. So anyway, um, excuse me, wifey in the background telling me Cowboys won. Oh, she can't believe it. Um, Nvidia. So that's the big dog, right? That's who I trade the most. When we look at, I got a Nvidia trade on right now. I'll talk about it later. They just reported earnings last week, and we can get into it. I'm also hearing some crazy stuff about, you know what? I'll talk about that later too. But that $1,000 a month in Nvidia, now we're talking about 869,000, and we're talking about 1.7 to 4.3 million. Would that change your life? That'll change a lot of people's life. That's a lot of change. That's a lot. Now you've opened up opportunities, right? You've changed the trajectory of your family's legacy, right? And it all starts with just having the discipline to put away $1,000 a month. Like I said, 10 years sound like a long time, but it's going to go by. Next 10 years is going to go by way faster than the last 10 years. I can tell you that from experience. All right, so let's look at some examples, right? We see right here. Let's say you had put $50,000 into advanced micro devices. Let's say you had put 50 into advanced micro devices. That 50,000 would be 1.5 million. This is old. This is old, actually. Let me see if I could get the new numbers for that. I didn't change that slide yet. Let me see. This website cooperates sometimes, sometimes it don't. But let me see if I can get y'all, excuse me. Let me see if I can get it to pull up the right numbers. Let me see. I can never find the one thing. This website is it used to work so good, but now it's not getting counting things. Let's see if I can pull it in, if I can use ChatGPT to get the numbers. You know, that's gonna take up too much time. I'll get it. So we just look at these numbers and I'll tell you, these is old when I had made this is an old slide. It's 2 years old and it would be 1.5 million. So that number is closer to 3 million now. Okay. And same here with Tesla. 50,000 in Tesla would be worth like $2 million now. Okay. So why, and I know a lot of people like, well, those numbers, that just sound like random numbers, right? Or you think like, but I still don't know. I still don't have confidence. Here's a woman, let me tell you a little, there was this woman named Ann Schreiber, single Jewish woman, right? She worked for the IRS. She was an auditor for the IRS. She started with $5,000 and she turned it into $22 million by the time she died. Without any kind of specialized training, just investing in the best stocks and staying consistent. $22 million. That's what she left here with. And she put it in a foundation, and that foundation pays for Jewish girls to go to college right now, and it will for eternity. That's what leaving a legacy is all about. That's the impact. She's been gone She been gone for 30 years, but she's still impacting people's lives by sending Jewish girls to college. We need that same kind of support from each other. And it is 100% possible. All right. She started when she was 38 years old. By the time she died, she had turned that 5,000 into 22 million. So just so you know, like I said before, everything you've been taught about building wealth up to this point is pretty much wrong, right? All of that work for 40 years so you can retire for 20 years off of your 401k and get a pension. With inflation, you are not going to be able to sustain your lifestyle if all you do is save if you planning on living off of your pension that you're going to get from retiring from the government, you're going to be over there eating cat food after inflation, especially with what's happening to the dollar right now. America's 40 trillion in debt. And so you may have $2,500 coming in a month. What you don't realize is 10 years from now, that $2,500 is going to be probably worth about the purchasing power of that $2,500 is going to be more like $1,875, right? Now, if you didn't lock in your house note, then of course, like your house note ain't going to go up, but electricity going to keep going up, water going to keep going up, and food is going to keep going up. And even if you paid your house off, houses need maintenance. Houses got upkeep. You're going to have to pay somebody. The older you get, you're going to have to pay somebody to come do the yard work. You're going to have to redo your floors. You're going to have to get a new roof. I just had my partner just had to get a new roof and air conditioning. He paid, I think he said it was 60. He had to pay like $60,000 because he had to get multiple. He had to get, no, I'm sorry. I think he said the air conditioners was something like 15,000 per air conditioner, right? So depending on where you live and how hard it is on the air condition, you're gonna have to, those are expenses you're gonna have to cover. And the majority of people don't even have $1,000 to cover themselves and to cover something in the case of emergency. That's why we have so many people living paycheck to paycheck and why we got so many people living off of their credit cards. So you gotta become fiscally disciplined. All right. So now that I done went through that little rant, let me get to secret number one. All right. Got your pens? Y'all ready to go? We're gonna talk about the 4 ways you can use AI as your secret weapon, as a personal trading assistant, and as a wealth coach. So number one, I know everybody looks at charts and get intimidated by charts when they see all lines. You don't got to learn how to read charts no more. You should, but if you have problems reading charts, your problems are solved now. You can use AI to read the charts and break down the patterns for you. It makes it super simple. You take a picture of the chart, you load it up, you upload it. All you got to do is take a screenshot of a chart. You upload it to whatever AI you're using. I built a bot, and I'll show you guys. I'll do a demo later. I built a bot. You upload the picture, it reads the chart pattern, it tells you it tells you about the supply, it tells you where support is, it tells you where resistance is, it tells you where the next three, whatever you want, and it can do it in a matter of seconds, really. All right. And then you can make whatever chart patterns you're looking for, it can find it. You can just tell it like, okay, well, show me the charts show me charts that are giving me this pattern. Show me charts that are giving me double bottom patterns. So you all know the three, if you've been following me, you know my three favorite patterns are the cup with the handle, the flat base, and then the BBL. I mean, double bottom. BBL double bottom, I like to call it. Right. So, and the benefit of that is that's going to save you 3 to 5 hours of technical analysis every week, right? So this is how we start to cover a lot of ground. Next, you use AI to dissect the earnings reports and the news, right? You can upload again. You can upload it. You can ask it questions, and it's going to break down the earnings for you. tell you what that means. Compare the earnings to the earnings that they had, that a company had before. Compare the earnings to their peers. Now you basically have a professional research assistant in the palm of your hands. Okay. So that's the second way. What I said I was going to give you four. All right. You can journal your trades. You can use it to journal your trades. Okay. And then also for strategy optimization, because a lot of times you don't know, okay, well, how should I trade this? A lot of people is one trick ponies. Most of the people you're gonna see on online, I call them one trick ponies. And like I said, we've been pre-programmed and brainwashed to be consumers, and that goes for stock market and investments too. Most people think more about buying stock than they do about selling stock. And you really need to think about them both, because you can't make no money until you actually sell. Or, well, let me say that you will make the bulk of your money when you sell. So you need to be just as good at selling as you are at buying. Okay. And so, what y'all think so far? Y'all getting the game? Y'all soaking this up? Am I talking too fast? Are you listening too slow? What's going on? Let me see if y'all rocking with me. Okay. So, um, let me show you how to monetize AI. Can I get your permission to show you how to monetize AI? I'm gonna give you a game changer. Like I said, you can literally take a picture, upload it to my bot, and get a full report in less than 2 minutes. Y'all want to see? I'm play demo right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you how easy it is the most popping for the AI Money Machine Masterclass. I'm about to show you analyst right here. Back. So here we have a Palantir module. I'm just gonna take a picture, take a little snapshot of it, and then I'm gonna go over here to I built my GPT already, and we'll add the file. So we'll go to recent. Add that file. Upload it. So you see, we uploaded it into, this is my Charlie the chart reader. So all I got to do, upload it to Charlie.
Video.
Charlie's gonna give me a 5-point breakdown. Bam! Look how fast that is. I don't even know how long that was. Guess what? We 3 seconds. We just went through the slides. See what it says. Things that 4 ways report to me. You can see how extensive this is already. And let's see what he says. As your personal assistant. So I'm about to show y'all how easy.
El Presidente.
Watch this.
Let's dissect PLTR like a scalpel through butter.
Okay, so
precision,
come over here.
speed, and zero fluff.
And
here's your 5-part breakdown for Palantir Technologies based on the chart you just served up.
Let's go to
1, market trend. Trend direction.
Go to trading
Mixed,
view.
leaning bearish. Trend confidence score 51-100. Price is caught in a range-bound chop since mid-September, but the recent rejection from 195 plus, upper range plus fib 23.6% suggests short-term weakness. Current price $174.01, sandwiched near the fib 50% level, 173, a key battlefield. Lower highs forming subtle distribution signs. The recent spike down to 164.50 shows institutions testing liquidity at the fib 61.8% retrace. Dash mark 2,
And
pattern and setup, range breakdown, watch minor double top.
Okay, go back. Let me go back on this slide. So I hit something wrong.
I'm gonna show you how easy it is the
Echo.
for the AI Money Machine Masterclass. I'm about to show you analyst right here. Back. So we just went through. Here we have a Palantir model. I'm just gonna take a picture. Well, not a model, I guess, but we're on the presentation. We just went through the slides. Snapshot of it. Or things. Then I'm gonna go 4 ways that you can use. I built my GPT already, and add the file as your personal assistant. So I'm about to show you how easy it is. Watch this. It's in that file 3. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here, upload it, and so you see we uploaded it into, this is my Charlie the chart reader. So all I gotta do, upload it to Charlie view. Charlie's gonna give me a 5-point breakdown. Bam! Look how fast that is. I don't even know how long it was.
You know what? It's not.
3 seconds.
I need to fix that slide.
So read the report to me. See how extensive this report is already.
I am going to, let me go in here and I'm gonna do it live for y'all. Is it better? Because I think, because it's recorded, I think in Canva. And so let me add, do the mission right here. And y'all can see me. Let's see. 1 second, make it a little bigger here. Let's go in here. So y'all watch me do it now. Let me see if I'm still sharing my screen. Y'all still see my screen, right? Okay, so let's go. Go to ChatGPT and go to my, you see here, I got Charlie the chart reader. That's the bot that I built, right? And you can see the tabs where here's a chart of what's the trade setup, break down this ticker, break the ticker down using your 5-part format. What's the trend pattern? You can ask it all kind of questions here, and I'll have a offer with y'all for that later for y'all. But let's go here. Let's go to TradingView. We can look at any random stock. Let's look at y'all want to look at, let's look at NVIDIA. Might as well, right? Let me look at NVIDIA. What happened with that? Okay, so they're having a big Black Friday sale over there they want us to look at. But what I want to do is I'm going to take a picture of this chart and then I'm going to upload it and let Charlie the chart reader give me the breakdown of this whole joint, right? So let's see. Okay, so now I got the picture. So I'll come over here, upload the picture. Screenshot. Here, go here. It's uploaded. Now, let's say, break this ticker down using your 5-part format. All right, now watch how fast it does it. Everybody got the clock? You ready? And Mark, get set, go. Loading, loading, loading. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004. Here's the full. Let's go. Let's see. And let's see what it says. So now I play it right here. And then you can talk to this thing. That's what's so crazy is how we even make it talk, right? So I'll say, read aloud to me what's going on.
Here's the full 5-part technical breakdown for NVDA, NVIDIA Corporation, based on your chart. 1, market trend. Neutral to bearish bias trend confidence score, 45 to 100. Price below the 10, 21, and 50-day moving averages. Rejected at Fibonacci 0.382, $191.62. And now testing key support at 178, 179s. Breakdown from recent highs at $212.90 suggests loss of short-term momentum. Long-term trend remains intact, but current action shows weakness in the swing time frame. Chart 2. Pattern and setup. Falling channel plus Fibonacci breakdown. Pattern, pullback after topping around 212ers, forming a falling channel or early descending wedge. Price attempted a bounce off Fib 0.236, $186.47, but failed to reclaim. Current support at $178. Prior base support, now retested multiple times. If it breaks below 178, next support is $168 and stronger at $149. Gap fill in MA Confluence. Our 3 trade plan, buy zone for swing entry, aggressive, 174 to 179, watch for bounce confirmation with volume. Conservative, wait for reclaim of 186.50 cents with strength. Profit targets, target 1 conservative, $191.60. Target 2, $199.40, fib 0.618. Stop loss close below 174's, recent wick low and fib breakdown, or tighter stop at $171 for short-term traders. Tab 4, technical metrics. Metric value plan. 10 EMA, 21 EMA, 188. 50 SMA, 192. 200 SMA, 149. Percent above, below, and 6% is 8% below short-term MAs. Change 1D, 1 bob, and 3M, plus 1.8%, 9 to 3%, 9 is 8%, plus 5%. QD plus 5 per 60 cent plus. Distance from 52 auto high, 2 down to 15.6%. Relative strength, 1 bubble weak, 1M weak, 3M strong, 6 strong, 1 wide leading. 5. Strategy suggestion. Bullish swing reversal or defensive play. If bounce confirms off 174 to 179 zone, bull call spread, buy $180 cents, sell 195 cents for deck Jan expiry. Risk defined, targets move back to fib mid zone with low cost. If breakdown continues below $174, bear put spread or short call spread can be deployed toward $168 or $149 targets. Long-term holders, cash secured puts at 165 to 170 for January 2026 could be ideal for rich forever asset acquisition. Let me know if you want this overlaid with RSI volume analysis or a fresh chart with key levels marked up visually.
See, that's how easy it is now using AI to get an analysis. And you don't want to be lazy and make AI do all the work, but you want to take advantage of what AI can do to make you a better investor and a better analyst, okay? So there we got secret number 1. So now let's move on to secret number 2. Now, secret number 2, I've already been alluding to and saying a little bit. You've been brainwashed into being an AI consumer. And the reason why they're doing that is because the AI suppliers and investors want to make billions of dollars off of you. That's why. So you have to decide, do you want to be a consumer or a customer? You want to be a consumer or customer, or if you want to be a producer? Let me say that. You want to decide, you got to make the decision to become a producer. Okay? And so it's very important that we learn let me see. Let me go back out of this for a second. It's a full screen. Presenter view. So I lost my presenter screen for a second, guys. Make sure I got that back where I wanted it. So full screen mode. Okay. So where was I? Okay. Brainwash. We've been brainwashed into being consumers. We got to learn how to be producers, okay? We got to learn how to be investors. We got to learn how to make money off of the same thing that the billionaires is making money off of. You look at, we want to be in the same club with these guys. We might not have their money, but the stock market is democratized to the point where we can participate in a lot of the same things they participate with, and we can be junior partners. Remember, like Tony told Manolo, you my junior partners, right? So I'm going to teach you 5 option strategies you can use to generate 10 bands a month. I'm going to teach you how to create multiple income streams. And I'm going to teach you, best of all, how to generate lifetime income. Okay. So what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about call options and leaps. We're going to talk about bull call spreads. We're going to talk about bear call spreads. We're going to talk about call ratio back spreads. And then we're going to talk about the wheels of wealth. So that's 5 strategies I'm finna lace you with right now. So get your pen. Get your pens because we finna get in it. All right. So long calls. Let's start there. What is a long call option? Long call option is when you buy an option, right? And what it does when you buy an option, you get the right but not the obligation to buy a stock, to buy 100 shares of stock at a predetermined price within a predetermined time window. Okay. The benefit of that is now you have a limited risk. You got limited risk. Whatever you pay for the option is the most you can lose. But you have unlimited return potential, meaning the stock can go to infinity and you still get to buy it at that discount price that's connected to your call option. The value of a call option increases when the stock price goes up. And you can buy a contract from 1 week all the way up to 2 years. And you control that contract allows you to control the stock without owning it. It works kind of like a lease with an option to buy on a house or a car. So you can sell it or exercise it at any time before expiration. Let's do it. Let's do an example. Let me do an example with y'all here, right? So let's go for example. Let's say you buy a long call, right? We can do a long call on, let's just do it on the NASDAQ 100 on the Qs, right? Let's say I think that the Qs are going to go up. They're 592 right now. Let's say I think the Q is going to go up about 10%, right? So if I think the Q is going to go up to 10%, so that'd be $59 off of 592, right? So I would look at, I think it's going to go up 10%. Let's say I don't go, let me see. I could go out until let's say I go to September 2026, right? And let's say I think it's going to go 10%. So call it $60. So 550, 650. Let's go. Let's look at cut that in half. So make it $30, right? So what's that? That'd be 620. That'd be 620. So let's look at the 620s, right? So for $4,520, now I can control the QQQs for what is that? About 10 months. For $4,520, I control it. The most I can lose is $4,520, but I have an unlimited amount of income I can make. So let's say that the market goes up. Let's say the market goes up 12% between now and February. If the market goes up 12% between now and February to $666, I will make $3,608 or 80%, almost 80% on my money, right? And it's not unrealistic that the market could go up 10% or 12% between now and then, right? Because the market moves in pockets and it already dropped faster than that. So that's the kind of returns we're looking at with the long calls. And that's why I like options, because now we're talking about, look at that, 12% move in the stock results in an 80% move in the options. So what's that? Like 5, 6, 7 times, right? 6 times. Yeah, 7 times. Almost 7 times the return. Okay, so let's get back in it. Let's go. Okay, so that was a leap when I went long. I could have did it short term, it would have been way cheaper, right? So now let's talk about bear call spreads. This is something, okay, so this is something you want to know how to do, like right now while everybody's panicking. Well, what's a bear call spread? So look at it, let's break it down. Bear, that means that this strategy is going to be profitable when the market is going down. Okay? Bears when the market goes down, bulls when the market goes up. So this is a strategy that's going to be profitable when the market goes down. Can you stretch my legs a little bit? I need to stand up a little bit here. Y'all see the Rich Forever Dad go live, right? Listen. So, oh man, I got to stretch my legs out a little bit. Okay. And sit too. So let's get back in it. So bear, meaning we expect the market to go down. This is strategy is going to be profitable when the market goes down. Call means we're going to use call options. There's only two kinds of options. Call options, put options, okay? Calls give you the right to buy. Put options give you the right to sell, okay? Spread, meaning we're going to use more than one option. In this case, we are going to buy a call and sell a call with the same expiration date. We're going to buy a call, sell a call, same expiration date, right? But different strike prices. We don't expect the market to go up. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell a call to speculate. And then we're going to buy a call to hedge just in case we're wrong. Remember earlier I said you always got to have a plan for when you're wrong. So this is why, now this is a strategy where I have a limited return, but I have limited my risk. And I set it up so I know exactly how much money I'm willing to lose. And so it may not have the fattest returns. And anytime I see a decrease in my potential return, I need to see an increase in the probability of profit or the probability of it working. So this is a conservative trade. This is a conservative way to make money off of a bear market, off of a pullback, off of a correction, off of a dip. This is the way you make money. It's got a limited downside and limited upside. And this is what I call this is one of our recession-proof trading strategies, okay? This is how we make our way through a recession, how we profit off of a recession, how we profit off of a crash, how we profit off of volatility, right? It has all those elements baked in for you to be able to get the bag. Nobody else is going to be able to, nobody else is getting the bag. Everybody's sitting on the sideline. Everybody don't know what to do. You'll still be getting the bag if you learn how to use this strategy. That's why the strategy is so dope. Okay, so let me give you guys want to see an example of this one? All right, so let's find somebody, for example. Let's look at, I'll go to the whole market again. Let's look at the SPY. Let's go to S&P 500 this time. SPY ETF. All right. Now, right on here, it's called call spread, right? So I'll go to the SPY. $6.59. So now I'm gonna go closer in because, and I'll talk about this later, but because of time decay is gonna work in my favor now. When you buy options, time decay works against you. When you sell options, time decay is in your favor. So this time I am going to buy, let's say 5% again. They go, okay, so 65. So let's say we want to sell. Let's go to the 650s. Let's say I think that I'm going to sell it out of the money call, right? So first thing I got to do is pick my expiration date. What's today is the 20 something. So let's go a month out. We look at comfortable going December 26th. I don't think that the market can get to, let's say, I don't think the market can get to 700. before Christmas. Let's say I don't expect that, right? So I might sell the 700, or let me see, no. Okay, I might buy the 700 and then see that expiration date there? Then I'll turn around, same expiration date, and then I'm gonna sell that 680. With the anticipation that this 680 is going to expire worthless. That's what I'm thinking, right? So the spread now costs me, it doesn't cost me because I'm a net seller on this one. So now we're looking at an entry credit of $434. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm on the hook for $1,566, right? My maximum return is that initial credit I took in. It's the 434 credit I took in. So that's a 27% return on my money in a month, which is almost 300% if you analyze it. People tell you can only get 10% a year. You lucky if you get you a goat if you get 25% a year. That's what Warren Buffett got. I'm teaching you strategies where you could get 25% in a month with this strategy. You really can get more than that. But here's why we're willing to take that chance. The probability of profit is 74.7, or call it 75%, meaning we should win this trade 3 out of 4 times, right? And so that's what makes this trade such an awesome strategy to know how to do, right? You want to take advantage of high volatility situations like we're in right now. When you see a lot of volatility in the market, then that's when you want to use this kind of strategy, when you want to sell calls instead of buy puts. Because I know some people be like, well, how do I know if I should when I should sell calls or buy puts? You base it on volatility. Okay. And so let's get back in here. What we got up next? Okay. So now let's talk about the call ratio back spread. Call ratio back spread. This is your money maker for when markets are bullish and they're taking off. When you see the market going big and you want to buy some, this is a strategy you're going to use. You're going to sell some options. You're going to sell 2 options, take the credit that you receive from the 2 options you sell and purchase some out of the money higher strike options. So what's going to happen? A higher number of them. So you want this to be a 1-to-2 ratio or a 2-to-3 ratio at the least. So what you're going to do, you're going to sell 2 in the money calls. Then you're going to turn around and you are going to take the money from the calls that you sold and you're going to purchase 4 out of the money calls, right? So what that does is that basically sets you up with a free trade if the market starts going up and it goes up enough. You want to do this when you're now. This caveat. You only want to use this strategy when you are expecting a strong bullish breakout, because you got to have motion or you're going to lose money on this trade. So you've got to have motion when you do these call ratio back spreads. But when you think the market is about to boom and it's going to have a volatility rush, and here's the big thing. People expect stocks to go up and they never know why they expect it to go up, right? I'll be like, if you ask somebody why, that's a question you need to be able to answer. Well, what would be a why? Interest rate cuts, blowout earnings, announcement of a new product. Them 3 things. And there'll be more later, but when you start, I don't want you using this strategy unless you expect an interest rate cut, a big earnings beat, or some kind of new product or service or a new deal they got coming up, right? That's when you expect, and we're gonna be seeing that a lot with all of the acquisitions that's going on. I think NVIDIA acquired probably 9, 10 different, did 9, 10 different acquisitions this year. And every time they bought into somebody, stock took off, right? this is those situations where if you can anticipate a takeover candidate, you can kind of get over there and position yourself to run the call ratio back spread play on those companies. And it works. Let me see how to change things. So we'll go here again. Let me see. Call ratio back spread. Did I got that on here? This is a great site for you to practice on and do your paper trading too. Because all the different influencers, a lot of us disagree on this. I'm a person, I know a lot of people say, oh, you don't get the feeling, you don't know, you don't get the real feeling because you don't have real money on the line when you paper trade. I'm a believer in the paper trade because I want you to learn the mechanics and I want you to get a feel for what you're doing. So I think that you should do 100 paper trades. I want you to do 100 paper trades before you start trading with real money. Right. And it don't take as long as you can do 10 trades. You can set up 10 paper trades in a day for 10 days and you'll have your 100 paper trades. Right. So let's look at a call ratio back spread. Right. And let's do a call ratio back spread on, let me see a good one on the semiconductors. Right. On semiconductor ETF. All right. So it's at 327 is the current price, right? We buying, this is a long strategy, so we want to give ourselves enough time to be right again. We just want to be, so let's just say we stretch this thing out until, let's stretch it out until February. All right. So I'm going to sell the in the money. It's at 327. I'll sell that in the money. That February in the money. Let's say the 320, 28. And then I turn around and I buy. Now I got $28 to spend, right? So I need to find one that's going to be around there. I can get that 360 for 1205 or let's see. Yeah, it look like that 360 is what I'm gonna be able to buy with that 28.78, right? Not quite. Yeah, so if I buy two 360s for 1205, right? So now look at that. So now this trade, I get a $460 net credit to begin with. And if the stock pops, I can see, let's say the stock goes to, let's say SMH goes up to 375. Let's see, 375. And again, remember, this is no guarantee. I'm just giving y'all examples, case studies right now, right? So let's say it goes to 375 by March. If it goes to 375, a 14% move by December, by Christmas, then I'll be looking at a 12.7% return, right? And the beautiful thing about it again is I'm in a situation where I'm looking at an unlimited upside with a limited amount of risk. Okay, so now I am exposed to $3,500 worth of risk on this trade. So that might be more than I want to take on in this situation. So you got to look at that, right? But this is for somebody who's shorter on money who looks, and if you want to make your adjustment on the play. Now, again, remember I said we got to have a big power move in order for this to make sense. Now I can adjust it and still cut down some of the trade, right? So let's say I went further in the money and I said, okay, I'll go 330 on it, right? So now I'm going to be out of pocket. Watch how the dynamics change on this trade. So now it cost me I get an $1,822 credit. I get the 28.22 is my risk but I still have an unlimited upside potential. And I could look at maybe anywhere between, let's just say the stock goes up 10% over that time. I'll be looking at anywhere between 6 and 60%. Does that make sense? That's how we make these trades work, right? We start to see and we just you just keep on grinding until you find the number that makes sense, right? So we say, okay, well, what about a 5% move? If it's got a 5% move, I can make 21% off of a 5% move if it does it within that 20-day in within that 30-day window. Now, what I'm never going to do, and let me say this, I'm never going to let this thing get inside 30 days to expiration, and I'm never going to actually let it go against me time-wise, right? So I'm going to look at the timeline of the minimum that I want to make on this trade. And I say, okay, well, I need to make at least 10% on this trade. Well, I know then it needs to be at 10%. It needs to be up by 5% within the month, right? I'm looking for momentum because remember, this is a pure momentum play. Okay. So go back on it. Okay, now last but not least, this my favorite. This is my favorite strategy. It's the bull call spread. Why is it my favorite? Because most of the time we are in a moderate bull market. We're not usually in a raging bull market. We are not usually, but most of the time we are in a moderate bull market. And if we're in a moderate bull market, this is the best strategy you can use. It has your risk is limited, and that's why I like trades where my risk is limited, and then my return is also limited, but I can twist this trade. I got so many different ways that I can make these options work together that I get the best bang for my buck with this trade. I get the best combination of probability of profit and return on risk when I use the bull call spreads. If I ain't have any other strategy, this is the one strategy that you got to know how to trade. This is the number one strategy you want to master if you want to consistently generate multiple streams of income and you want to be able to take advantage of powerful stocks, right? I always like I used to eat Suzy Q. Anybody familiar with the Suzy Q? Or you look at like the lemon peel, all the bad snacks, right? What's the best part? The middle, right? We always want the middle. So this trade is designed for you to get everything in the middle. You might give up a little bit on the bottom end and a little bit on the top end, but you get all the filling in the middle because that's the best part all the time, right? But the cool thing about this strategy is you can double your money on as little as a $10 move. Let me say that again. We like this trade because we can double our money on as little as a $10 move. That's right, double-digit returns. This is when you guys hear me talking, you see in the ad, and I say, I'm gonna teach you how to generate double-digit returns in days, not decades, right? I'm gonna teach you how to generate double-digit returns in days. And as little as 30 days sometimes, sometimes even 2 weeks, just depending on how much motion the stock has and how much we pay and how you set the trade up. And the cool thing about this is you can make money even if the stock goes sideways or down a little bit. That's why it's the dopest strategy. That's why it's my favorite strategy. Okay. So, I'll give you an example. We'll do it one more, right? So how do we put together the bull call spread? Now notice it's going longer. How long have we been gone? You know how long we've been? Okay, so we're running right up on an hour and a half right now. Okay. Time is money, right? But this is valuable. I hope this has been worth your time. Has this been worth your time? Has this been worth your time so far? Keep tuning in because this is right. This is like I said right now. You don't learn how to make $1,000 1,000 times with this trade right here. So let me use go back in here. Go to the bull call spread. So we look at that ratio back spread, right? It was looking like it's a 1 in 3 chance, right? We're gonna win. We know going in. It was cheap. We're gonna win 1 out of 3 trades with that. 33% probability of profit. Now watch me mix it up with this. Watch the way I mix the game with this. Let's go to that call spread, different kind of call spread. Let's look at let me get somebody who's booming right now. Who is I'll go to my list of #1 stocks. I'll just pull a random stock up for y'all. CrowdStrike. Let's go with CrowdStrike. You want CrowdStrike, Intuitive Surgical. What we like better? We want to look at cybersecurity or medical instruments. Let's go medical instruments. Let's go Intuitive Surgical. ISRG. Get the price. All right, so let me look at a chart on ISRG. All right. Oh, excuse me. So we see the entries at 552, right? So we know we want to get to 552. What's the number right now? 561. So let's say 616 entry, 552 entry. If you get him on the back. So let's go with 662, 616. So let's play these numbers right here. 550. So let's look at a 550. So we have 560 right now, right? 561 after hours. So let's say I want to go 565. So I'm gonna look at this. Let's make it a 30-day trade, right? And we'll go 560. We're gonna buy the 560, and then we're gonna sell the 580. Same expiration date. Okay. So $2,175 going out, $1,290 coming in. Same expiration date. This is what you call a bull call spread. The spread is $20 because I'm buying one for 560, I'm selling one for 580. Right? So I'm speculating with the 560. I'm covering with the 580 to cut down my costs. So what we looking like on this trade? It's going to cost me $885. It's going to cost me $885 to enter the trade. That's the most that I can lose. That's what I have at risk. But I can make a potential $1,115, right? So this is the trade that I use. This is the trade I use the most. Variations of this trade, because we're talking about 126 return. So that's a triple digit return. That's a potential triple digit return if the stock goes somewhere between. Now look at if it goes somewhere between 560 and 582, right? So how do we get more money on this? I can adjust this and make it tighter and increase it, right? So watch what I do. Maybe I don't like the 580. So now I lower it for my people that's more conservative. I'll lower it to 570. Now I only got $10 spread. And now we're talking 445 to make 555. And now I got a 47% chance, right? So it's getting closer to 50-50, right? And now I'm looking at 125. I didn't lose that much. I didn't lose that much potential return on there. And this one only cost me now, it cost me 455, right? So I can keep on tightening it up until I find the ideal price I want. Now, 565 don't give me a lot of room, but it increases my probability of profit. Now this is a 50-50 trade where I can put $190 and make a potential $310, 163% on my trade. You'll see how we win like this? Is this making sense? This is how you stack your money up. Okay. So now was 190. Well, it's like, well, what I'm gonna do is only, $300. So now I might get 10 of these. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I know you're like, well, how I make $10,000? Because you do multiples of these. So let's say I'm looking to make $10,000 on this trade. I gotta put up about 5,000, right? So let's say if I take 20 of these, and 20 of these. So now my situation is 3,800, maximum return 6,200. So I need a little bit more. So let's say I do 50 of them. Now just a baby spread. I do 50. I buy 50 calls. I turn around, I sell 50 calls. Well, everybody else is looking for these big moves. All I need is a small $5 move. $5 move. Now I'm looking at making $15,000 on my money. I put up 10,000, cost me 9,500. I'm looking at a 50. I'm looking at I'm looking at 1,500, $15,500 return in a month if the stock goes up 2%, right? So what is that? What is it at right now? It's 561. So if it goes up $10, it goes up $10, I can see 15,000. Remember I said I was gonna tell you this how you make $10,000 a month. Now, what's the downside of that? Everybody be greedy, right? Because people are like, well, I could have made, let's say it go up to $600. It go up to $600, how much do I make? I make the same $15,500. Because what happened is the stock is going to get called away from me once it gets to 565. I only get the ride from 560 to 565. After that, that's somebody else. But there's a saying we have in the stock market. Bulls eat, bears eat, pigs get slaughtered. Don't be greedy. You don't want to be greedy. The stock market is the wrong place to be greedy. What we want to do is take advantage of them. We want to come in. It's just like he's saying, King in New York. I just want my taste. Dime bag gets sold in the park. I want my taste. I just want to wet my beak. Like they say in the thing, we just want to wet our beaks. Okay. The cool thing is I can make this work with so many different ways. This is why it's the dopest strategy ever, right? Let's even move it in. What if I say, watch this. This is really dope right here. I shouldn't even teach y'all this, but I'm gonna give y'all this just because I'm a real one. So let's say we go here. Here. Change it up again. So now, if I do the 550 and the 560, now I got a potential. It's changed, right? I'm not seeing the same amount of return on risk. Now I'm looking at a 58% return on risk, but my probability of profit went up to 54%. Now it's 30 bands. I don't want to put up 30 bands. So, obviously I would cut this down. Now I cut this down to 20. 20. So now $12,000 risk. I can see 7,400. I got 54% chance of this happening. So it's better odds. I increase my probability of profits. Now, I could also adjust it like this, right? I shorten it. Watch now. There's so many moves. And I don't want to scare y'all away because that's just like when they taught me how to do these presentations, like you don't want to teach them too much where you start, you scare them away. Well, if you're scared, go to church. I'm going to show you how to get this bag. You know what I mean? Let's go cut it down to 2 week. Let's make it a 2 week trade. And we go 550. That one. 560. So now we change it. And we're looking at $12,000 my entry cost on here. Maximum return, 7,900, 65% return on risk, 1192 annualized. So what happened? The break even changed at 556. So I would need in this situation Intuitive to stay above 556. There's a 56% chance of that happening. So now I'm gonna win this trade 1 out of every 2 times, but this now has turned into a 2 week trade where I saw 7,900. So y'all see that? This trade is only 2 weeks. I only got to spend 2 weeks in here to see the money, right? I can make it even shorter. Let's see where we go if I did just 1 week. Let's see if we cut it to, what's today, the 23rd? Let's see if we just did it on 28th, expiring on the 28th. Let's go 550. If I wanted to just do it as a 1 week trade. Now let's look at the return on it. So the entry cost on this, no, we didn't do that right. Let's see. November 28th. Okay. So now 12/8 to make 7,200. Now we got a 61% probability of profit. And we're talking about 56% in a week. That's how you make double-digit returns in a week. Okay? Put up 12/8, make 72. Long as it stays, and we won't lose any money long as it stays above 556. So, by the time this come out or we see this, because I'm gonna be running this thing, we'll be able to go back and visit this and see how these trades turned out, right? So let's go back to let's see. Am I still live right now? I'm still live on here? Okay. Okay, so let's go. What we want to look at next? You know what? Let's take a smoke break. I don't smoke, but I still like this.
So much time I need breakthrough in. Niggas don't do it like the Bay do it. See?
Don't.
You get the bag and start crying. You got the bag. Somebody back like on TV. Fucking around in the lab like I'm. Me and my pops know this like wood shop. The brakes went out. I wish I could stop. I ain't no mechanic, but I make the hood. Came from the bottom, I need some good.
Hey, from the bottom, I need some good top. All right, little break. Let's go.
All right, y'all want to do another demo? All right, I got you. So I'm gonna walk you through one of these bull call spreads real quick.
I walked you through all of them, so we're gonna skip this one, right? Let's go to the WOW method. All right. With the WOW method, it's a triple income strategy. Some people call it the wheel. I like to call it the WOW, but it's a strategy you can use to get paid multiple streams of income on one stock. You get paid before you buy it, that's stream 1. You get paid while you hold it, that's stream 2. Then you get paid a third time when you sell it. That's stream 3, right? So it's a situation where you want now. This is another bull strategy, but when the market is starting to pull back a little bit, this is your dip buying strategy, right? That's another one of my favorite strategies, right? So we want to look for elite stocks. We want to look for a choppy market where the underlying stock is expected to rise gradually and the downside is contained by strong support. So step 1, first you're going to sell a cash secured put. And then step 2, you're going to buy the stock at a discount to the fair market value. Once you buy the stock, that's when and so now you're going to keep once you buy the stock, now you own the stock, right? So you got paid one time when you sold the cash secured put. All right. That's the first stream of income. All right. And we're going to do that over and over until we actually get a sign. Now we get a sign. Then as soon as we get a sign, now we're going to sell a covered call because we have 100 shares to secure the call. So now you sell the covered call. Now that's your second stream of income. And you're going to sell covered calls, sell covered calls, sell covered calls until the stock goes up and it actually gets called away from you, which is when it gets called away from you, now you have to deliver the stock, sell the stock to them, and you collect your third stream of income. And then you just rinse and repeat this over and over and over and over and over and over again. This is a triple income strategy you can use to make money, again, all throughout the bear market, and you can do this into infinity. This is how you create those double-digit returns, those $10,000 plus a month returns. This is how you build generational wealth, sustainable generational wealth. This is how you don't have to live on a fixed income. Retirement person can do this over and over and over and over again. You can do this, and you teach your kids how to do this. This is your income generator. This is a core strategy you can use to generate income forever. Okay, this is how we get to rich forever status. All right, so there we have it. Let's do a status check. Did I show you where to find the money? No, I didn't show you that yet. Did I show you how to generate multiple streams of income? Yes, I did. And so did I show you also how to use AI? I got to rearrange these because I'm going to put one on the back. That's why I said it's out of order. So y'all caught me. But so far, I done what I said I was going to do, right? I don't even got to ask you because I know I delivered. But I know there's somebody out there thinking, man, it sounds good. It sounds too good to be true. And usually when things sound too good to be true, they usually are. But I got more. What I got is now you need to know where you should be investing at. So I am going to show you 6 places where you can find huge AI profits in 2026. This is the place where all the institutional money is being invested. These are areas that I expect to make money in 2026 and I expect their stocks to outperform the market. And I think that you can make a nice little piece of change investing in these areas. This is what I call the picks and shovels or the infrastructure of the AI, right? So they'll tell you conventional wisdom. We've all heard, maybe you haven't heard. If you haven't heard, 50% of a stock's motion can be usually attributed to the industry that it's in and the amount of institutional support or sponsorship it has. What does that mean? That means follow the big money. What are the big institutions? What are the insurance companies, the pension funds, the endowments? What are they investing in? Right? What is professional money invest? What are the hedge funds investing in? Where's the professional money going? So every week, and you'll learn this being part of Rich Forever, because every week I go over the top industries, the top industry performers year to date, top industry performers for the week. And so a secret nugget to being successful in the stock market is being in the right place at the right time. And then you want to invest in elite companies. You want to invest in the best of the best companies in the best industries, right? So how do we do that? This is how, right here. We've got every week on any kind of service. If you got any kind of services, I use a bunch of them. I use Zacks, I use Investors Business Daily, Market Search, any one of them, and it'll give you an industry ranking. And every week I look at the industry ranking and I see which industries are performing the best. And that's how I tell where the big money is, where they say like where the big money is investing their money. Because every week somebody's got a pension plan. They got everybody's money that they have to invest. And so you can see where that money is going by paying attention to the industry rank. So semiconductor equipment makers, that's to be the ones who make the actual equipment that it takes to make the semiconductor before it even gets made, right? So you got to have all kind of lasers and all these different and they're really expensive products, right? Ultraviolet, this and that. I won't even begin to pretend like I completely understand the equipment, but what it is this is the picks and shovels. And before a semiconductor can ever get made, somebody got to make the equipment to make the semiconductors. Does that make sense? So far right now, as of the recording of this this masterclass, the semiconductor equipment makers, they rank industry 12. They've been outperforming the market all year. Let me see what is and I don't want to keep going off of the thing, so let me just go to, let's see, what is that? LSRCY. Yeah, still 12th. And let me see how it's performed year to date. So year to date, 37% is what this industry has performed. 37% year to date for the equipment makers. And when you see these numbers that I have next to them, that's the relative strength number. That means that's the percentile or how the company has performed in comparison to the other stocks in the stock market. So if you see 90 or above, then you know, or 80 or above, you think of it like an A or a B. I like to stick to stocks that's like 80, 85 or above. But you can see if an industry is dominating by how many of the top five. I like to look at how many of the top five companies have a score of 90 or better. So you see 4 out of 5 semiconductor equipment makers are outperforming the market, and we talking, so 80% of them outperforming the market and have a 90 are in the 90th percentile, right? So 4 out of 5, 80% of them are in that 90th percentile, right? So, and I'm not telling you to buy these, but these is what you want to put on your list. I'll say you might want to put these on your list as I'm giving you game. You're going to have a baby portfolio. You'll have a watch list to create your own portfolio by the time I finish running through this, okay? So take advantage of this game that I'm giving you for free. Okay, next up, semiconductor manufacturing industry. So these are the guys who have to buy equipment from the people from the semiconductor equipment. And what they do is, these are the ones that create the fabs. These are the ones that actually create the semiconductors. Taiwan Semiconductors is the big bully. They control the market. If you are part of the Millionaire March, I have a report on Taiwan Semiconductor is in our library, in the library, where you can read that report on Taiwan Semiconductor. And I actually also I did a bio piece on the founder of the company, Morris Chang. And kind of, so you hear this, interesting to me, should be interesting to you. And if you're learning the game and you're serious about this, just kind of helping you get a better understanding of how it all works. But this industry is ranked 27. You see 27, I should have said, we're talking out of 200 different industries, right? So I like to stick to companies, and the way I was trained, stick to companies in the top 40. So semiconductor manufacturing industry ranked 27, and we got 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 5 with a 90 percentile or higher, right? Taiwan Semiconductor probably controls 70, I think 70% of the market, 75% of the market. The Taiwan really they became experts in manufacturing semiconductors. It's the backbone of the Taiwan of Taiwan's economy is building semiconductors. That's why China is constantly trying to, like, wants to attack them because they want to bring them back up under their umbrella. And it's also why America helped Taiwan Semiconductors open up a semiconductor factory out here in Arizona, so that they won't have to, like, just in case China decides to push the line, China decides to push the line or we get into it, they got a backup plan now where they got a backup factory, and they're building a bigger, better factory in Arizona, and we can protect. It's easier for us to protect them while they're in Arizona. So I would say America is invested in Taiwan Semiconductor because Taiwan Semiconductor is the one who manufactures the majority of semiconductors that end up that all of the, and we'll go to the next one, that all of the actual semiconductor designers make. So when you see companies like NVIDIA doesn't make, they design they design the chips. They don't actually make the chips. They design the chips, and then they have Taiwan Semiconductor make them for them, right? So that's what you call a fabless. This is what you call fabless semiconductors. And look, the industry rank is 18th. It's even higher. It's even higher than the manufacturer, right? Because they design the chips, right? And they have multiple people who they could go to, but most of them go to Taiwan Semiconductor. Then they have a few other places. And you look here, and you see 1, 2, 3 out of 5 have a ranking of 90% or higher. So you can decide, I want to invest in semiconductor fabs. I want to invest in semiconductor equipment. I want to invest in semiconductor manufacturing, or all three. And there's more. But wait, there's more, right? That is the new gold. And I'm going to say this again. That is the new gold. I just was watching the report, an interview this morning, and it was on Bloomberg, and it was the CEO of Franklin Templeton, and she said something very interesting. She's like, everybody doesn't have the same AI. She said, we spend a ton of money on data, and then we gatekeep our data. And so data is the new gold or oil, or however you want to look at it. It's the gasoline that makes the industry go, right? That's the whole thing, is everybody's trying to get the data. The reason why you get Instagram for free, the reason why you get YouTube for free, reason why you get Facebook for free is because they want your data, because they can turn around and study your data and figure out how to sell it, what you want to buy. They can figure out your buying habits and your buying pattern, and that makes it so those companies, they can anytime a business, they can approach any business and be like, who's your customer? Who's your ideal customer? What do you want to buy? How much is it worth to you? Because I got a bunch of those customers. I got a bunch of people who want what you have, or what you make, and they don't even know they want it yet. But I know exactly. I can direct you directly to your customer. I can direct you directly to your target market, because I got all this data that I've stored, and I got all kind of information that you can study about them too, if you pay me. So that's what the data storage, all that data has to be stored somewhere. And so, like I said, data is the new gold. I suggest you invest in data storage companies when you can get them at a good price. Now, remember, we don't just go willy-nilly into these. We all about getting growth at a reasonable price. But look at this. All 5 of these, and I need to fix this slide, but all 5 of these companies have a industry rank have a relative strength of above 90 because it's this data storage, like I said, is huge right now. So let me see what data storage has returned so far this year. There you go. Year to date, data storage is 78.26%. So we're talking about 78.26% is the average. And that's what these companies have done. These companies they're top 5, so they done done better than that if we check and see what they done year to date. So data storage. Data storage. Data storage is more, it's funny because I know somebody selling a course on public storage, right? Oh, public storage. And it's like it's junk stored in most of the storages, and it's a good real estate play. This a better real estate play, data storage. And that's the way I think of it. I think of this as a real estate play, right? And I'm gonna go further, I'm gonna go deeper with it. Actually, not on this one. So what is that? 1, 2, 3. Well, I give you 1, 2, 3. How many I said I was gonna get y'all? Well, this is the next one. Metal mining ores, aka rare earths. Industry rank is number 5. We're looking at Cameco, Southern Copper, Rio Tinto, Denison Mines, Arrow Copper. What is this? So I believe it's 16. There's 16 essential minerals that they need in order to generate the power and the materials that they need to build semiconductors in order to make AI work. This is truly the picks and shovels play, right? This is the mind. This is why they're going on. This is why they're over in Africa. This is why they're over in China. This is the mining business is back booming because of rare earth materials that are needed. And so you see copper. Remember a while back, everybody used to have to worry about the fiends when you was building. Anybody who's been involved in real estate, fixing and flipping or whatever, you had to be careful about when you took your copper over there because the fiends will be breaking into your house just to steal the copper. So metal and mining ores. What have they done year to date? Let me see. Year to date, metal and mining ores. It's the 7th ranked industry now. It was 5 when I made the slide originally. But where are we at? You trying to get that? Get data. Metal and mining ores. Medical. There's so many. So 30.86% year to date is what mining and metal ores have done. All right. And some of these companies, like you see companies having such a resurgence, these companies are going to be, over the next 5 years, there's going to be a sweet spot want to be invested in. Okay. So I have said that to say this. I'm going to give you a bonus secret. Okay. I'm going to talk about why. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why most traders lose money. Number 1, they go too far out the money. All right. Big mistake. You gotta be you swinging for the fences. The further you go out the money, the lower your delta is, and the less your probability will be. All right. The stock has to work harder the further you go out the money. Number 2, FOMO. People lose money because they chase stocks that are already outside of the buy zone. There's always a stock somewhere in the buy zone where you can get a better deal on a stock that's just as good, if not better, right? The stock market is you don't need to have designer brand name. You can look at the performance of the company And you can get the similar performance for a lesser price if you wait and you buy stocks inside their buy zone. Everything's going to pull back at one time or another. And if it doesn't, it'll be something else that will pull back that will give you an opportunity. So don't chase stocks, because that's really going too far out the money, chasing stocks when they're already outside of the buy zone, and then not giving yourself enough time to be right. That's a recipe for disaster when you're trying to invest. So that's number 3. People don't give themselves enough time. If you trade in options, you have to give yourself enough time to be right. This is what I call, this is basically the core or the foundation of the 3D mattress money strategy. I'll talk about that more later on, but we want to pay attention to the direction, the direction, the distance, and then the deadlines. That's my 3D mattress money. It's really that simple. So here's the bonus secret I was telling y'all about is all of this that I've been talking about, you can use AI to do 80% of the work. You do not, it's crazy how easy, how convenient, I'm old enough to remember when you used to have to get up and change the channel on the TV by hand. I was my mom's first remote. My mom used to be like, call me from upstairs to come downstairs to change the channel. My mom on here watching this, she know I'm telling the truth too. I'm not exaggerating. Nowadays, touch of the button, and you guys already got it. Okay, so like I said, this is a strategy. This is a skill set. This is just as much about mindset and developing a skill set and personal and professional development as it is about making money. This is how you become part of the top 10%. So as we transition into this, I'll show you one more proof of slide. You can see here's an example of another 15,000 day. And like I said, this is a strategy. If y'all want to learn what I do to generate these kind of returns, if you like my personal step-by-step strategies, you want my blueprint for building a 6-figure plus trading income that's going to allow you to work from anywhere, build recession-proof cash flow, and take control of your financial freedom. Take control of your financial freedom. Remember what they said, information is power. I'm selling you some powerful information right now. Now, I'll be honest, it's not for everybody, but it's perfect for some people. This is going to be perfect for somebody, and it's going to be perfect for those of you who are action takers and who have decided you are ready to lock in and level up so that you can be a part of that top 10% income bracket, and so that you can have the kind of success and knowledge and life that you deserve. Because that's what I want to do. I want you to be able to have everything that you deserve. So if you're ready to show up 90 minutes or less a day, if you can make your dreams into reality, if you can make your financial dreams into a reality for 90%, 90 minutes a day or less. Because understand this, and I'm a firm believer in this, it's not what you do at your 9 to 5. It's what you do from 5 to 9 that determines your actual level of success. Okay, I got that from Alex Hormozi. I don't know who he got it from. But if that sounds like you, then I'd love to welcome you into the Rich Forever family so I can personally coach you myself. I personally coach myself in this program, right? And what you're going to learn is, and we get to the next one. What you're going to learn is how to make 10K in 30 days or less trading options part-time. You already knew it was coming to this, right? Y'all know I was going to have something to sell, right? I gave you all of this for free. Now y'all got to pay for the rest. What I'm doing is I'm doing a 5-day challenge. I'm going to give you 5 days of training similar to this, but deeper, where I go deeper into the strategies. And in that 5 days of training, you're going to learn the skills to pay the bills. Y'all going to learn the strategies that you can generate multiple streams of income. You're going to learn how to dominate and make money in any market. You will be a lean, mean, AI money making machine. Okay. And I got 3 tiers for you. So I put this at pricing tiers where everybody can participate. All right. This costs less than a pair of Jordans, less than a pair. I got courses that's less than a pair of Jordans, less than a Louis Vuitton, less than a Louis Vuitton bag. You got to get your priorities right. You got to get on top of it. It's all about understanding the difference between price and value. Now, this date changed. I need to change this date on this flyer. It's not going to be December 1st. Just don't pay attention to that. We got to black that out. Okay. But it's $97, $197, $297. So I'm gonna run through it. You're getting 50, that's with 50% off, right? Use code say 50, and that's gonna get you these 97, 197, 297. So I'm gonna go through each offer and give you an opportunity to figure out which one is the best fit for you. Okay, so I got general admission. It's $97. You need to understand the difference between price and value. What do you get for your $97? 5 days worth of live coaching. If I just charged $100 a day, that'd be a $500 value, right? At $100 an hour. You get access to my general admission Telegram. I put that as 100. I'm putting in trade alerts. It's worth way more than 100, depending on how much we make on those trades. You get the replays for 24 hours. I don't know how much that's worth to you. I don't know how much that's worth for you. I just put 50, but really, honestly, to have a chance to go back through it again, it's got to be worth more than $50. And so I'm a person, I lowballed all of this because I'm a hustler. I'm a 405 Park hustler from the streets. So I know how to guess. I know how to give people a blast, right? So they know. So give y'all that first little hit to get it going, right? So you get the workbook and you get the homework, another $50, and you're getting a 7-day trial of the Millionaire March, where I say I got like white papers in there. I got ebooks in there. I got videos in there. And you're gonna get my live coaching in there. You're gonna get recorded coaching sessions in there. You're gonna post-trade analysis in there. And you get my high performance coaching is gonna be in there too. So this is a super deal at $97. We're talking about 750 is what we valuing it at. It's probably more like a 1,000. Honestly, this is really just to get you to come in the door. I'm gonna be charging a lot more money for this later. Okay. You can scan the pay right here, and let me put in the chat. Put in the chat. AI Money Machine Challenge. AI Money Machine Challenge you can go to. If you're watching the recording of this and you're not seeing this live, AI Money Machine Challenge, or if you're on your phone, even though I told you to go to a laptop, if you're on your phone and you can't use the QR code right now, then AI Money Machine Challenge is where you can sign up. Let me put it on, actually have it on here. We're looking at it here. Y'all can log on here and you see 97, 197. So let me go over it more though here. So we're looking at VIP. So I sweetened it up. The VIP, I stacked that with even more stuff, right? You get the 5 days of coaching. You get 7 days for the replays now. You get the VIP Telegram where I'm going to put more trades in there, of course. Add a couple of more trades in there. And the real winner here is you get an extra hour of Q&A each day after the challenge. So now instead of 1 hour, you get 2 hours. And then you get the workbook and the homework. Plus you get a study guide too. So That's got another $100, and you get a VIP background. So this would be $1,400. This $1,400 worth of value really could be more than that, but $197 all I'm charging. Again, less than the cost of a pair of Jordans. All right. You think about what you spend $200 on, that's never going to make you any money. This is something that you're going to be able to make money for forever, right? And I think I outlined, what is this? The new blueprint for Black Wealth Day One, from confused to confident, why most traders lose money, how to print profits like a pro, the cash flow secrets of the 1%, predictive profits using AI to find the next explosive plays, and then why spreads are your secret weapon. So I'll be going through all of those during the 5 days. Now, for my elite people who want to go, you already own, and you're like, I gotta have the best of the best for everything I do. I understand you. I feel you, because I always buy the elite package too. So with the elite package, y'all know I packed it, right? Because it's for my people. It's elite, right? Shout out to all my Vegas elite players. I know some of them is in here buying. So you get access to the 5 days. You get replays for 7 days. So everything that's in the VIP, everything that's in the general admission, plus you got your own special elite Telegram access. You get an extra hour with the VIP people. You get the study guide workbook, the homework, and then you get a trading journal I also added in for you. Plus, you get a pre-event kickoff call. And you get a post-event bonus call. So that's 2 more calls, right? And then I'm gonna give you a 30-day Millionaire March trial. And then you also gonna get my Financial Freedom Masterclass. All right, so that's another. So 1, 2, you get 2 more events, and you get a Financial Freedom Masterclass. But that's not it, right? Because you're also going to get high performance group coaching every day before our regular session starts. So you're going to get an hour before the general admission session and an hour after the general admission session. You're getting 3 hours worth of training each day. You're going to be more preparation. I'm a person, I always say, my kids tell you, I say preparation equals separation. This is going to put you ahead of, you know, more about trading options and more about picking stocks than 90% of the population by the time this week is done. Okay. And then you get the virtual elite Zoom background. So there you got it right there. It's $2,500 in value, $297. So for $300, you're going to learn how to make money for the rest of your life, and you're going to learn multiple ways. You're going to learn multiple ways to do it. This is going to be the best option trading. I could have charged, and I will be charging $2,500 for this later. You're going to learn more about trading options, more about picking winners, more about monetizing your skill set than 90% of the people in the American population, just from coming to this for a week. Because most people never take the time to really, and they don't teach it the way I teach it, but most people never take the time to learn. I am going to hold your hand, give you the white glove service, walk you. I'm basically going to walk you through the trading scenarios, and then I'm going to be giving you in the Telegram, I'm going to be giving you my favorite plays, telling you what I'm looking at, helping you get these setups and understand where these setups is coming from. This is an orca big deal. I can't even say, I'm not a salesperson. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a salesperson. If you don't understand the value in this, then you just ain't gonna never get it. But if you're trying to really get on, this is how you get on. You want this elite program, it's $297. It's a $2,500 value. You know what? You'll make this $297 back on your first trade. You're gonna make this back so fast. It's ridiculous. And as a matter of fact, if you don't make the $297 back during the week, I will give you a full refund. How about that? If you don't make the $297 back, I'll give you a full refund. Because at the end of the day, I want to earn your trust. And like I said, I can show you better than I can tell you. So I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. I want to see you blow up. I want to see you get a bag. I want you to, and like I said, my thing with this is how we democratize. You heard him say democratize trading. This is how we close the wealth gap. And why do I call it the Millionaire March? Because I took that from the Million Man March. And my plan is to get me 1,000 millionaires by 2054, and we're gonna go back and do another version of the Millionaire March, but we're gonna be coming there with our pockets full, and we're gonna all be millionaires since they said that we was gonna have an average net worth of 0 by 2054. We're gonna march on Washington with 1,000 millionaires. That's what we're gonna do. So here again, I got the QR code for you to be able to buy it right here. If you're on there, just take a picture with your phone and it'll take you right to where you can buy it, check out, sign in. And then if you are on your phone and you're watching this, you can go to AIMoneyMachineChallenge.com. Okay? AIMoneyMachineChallenge.com. Listen, if somebody got a better deal than this, then I want to sign up for it. I gotta see it, right? Because I know I'm a competitive person, right? I don't want to beef with people online, but I'm competitive. I wanted to make sure I'm offering the massive value and that I had a best class. Ain't nobody finna have a better class than me because I'm not finna let nobody have a better class than me. So take advantage of this opportunity. Take advantage of the AI, this whole AI 2.0 boom, because I don't know when you're going to see another. I don't know what's next. I don't know when you're going to see another opportunity like this, but I know in my heart that you are going to be able to make a bunch of money off of all of the money that is being poured into the AI era. And because we know how to make money on the way down, if we do get a bubble, when we do get a bubble, you'll be able to make money, just as much money, if not more, faster when the market goes down. Because I'm gonna show you how to identify market tops and bottoms too, so you can get in you can get in early and then get out early. Okay. So again, AI Money Machine. Make sure you're taking it. Don't miss this opportunity. If you miss this opportunity, it's $297, man. I mean, if that's a lot of money to you, then you probably shouldn't even wasted your time sitting here. But I'm gonna change your life for $297. That's what this is really all about. Like, and I hope if you can't, I don't need to over talk it, because if you can't see that, if you don't feel like you already got more than $297 worth of value watching this video, right? I already told you where to find the money. I already told you how to use AI to pick the trades. And then I already showed you the strategies that you use to generate the money. Now you can try to go on YouTube and learn these strategies yourself. Just watching YouTube videos. I don't know how much your time is worth. It'll be somebody on YouTube that ain't gonna teach it the way I teach it. And they're not going to, because everybody teaches different. Everybody goes, most of the people only going to teach you the amateur strategies. I'm teaching you how to do this like a pro, right? I'm teaching you how to do this like a professional. You will be a world-class trader after spending 5 days with me. Okay. So that's my pitch. That's my time for today. I know this was a little bit longer than I said it was going to be. So what I did, I went over just a little bit longer than I said it was going to be. But I hope you enjoyed the information and I hope you learned something. And I look forward to seeing you at the 200K AI Money Machine Option Trading Challenge. Until then, make sure that you have a blessed day. All right, peace.